Okay, so uh, we'll start the class in a few minutes because I'm not sure if everybody has joined yet. But around 8:05 or 8:10, we'll definitely have to start. So if you know anybody that hasn't joined, please tell them.
This is Santosh Takale. Neil, I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, I personally feel you start because this is not good habit of joining late. Others we will
Okay,
allow, but you please continue. Let us honor those who are present in time. Okay?
okay.
Thank you. Continue.
Yeah. So with that, we'll start our second class. Today we're going to be focusing a bit more on Scratch and basic coding concepts. So I'll start the presentation. Okay, so this is our Scratch and HTML lesson 2. My name is Neil Takale. So first, we have our basic block coding concepts that you're going to have to learn as we move on within this game demo. Uh, the two major ones are for loops and if statements. So if you guys have the link from the last class and are able to open it, please do. If not, tell me in the chat if you do not, and I'll post the link. Okay, so Sahil, you don't have the link? Okay, so I'll just put it in the chat then, and anybody who wants to join that, anybody who wants to follow that link and work along with me is free to do so. So if you're ready to move on, just put a yes in the chat and then we can go forward. Okay. Okay. So in the last class, we went up to 5, I think, and we were about to go on to for loops. So today's class, we'll be focusing on this purple block. So this is what is known as a for loop. So on this site, they have a video explaining it, but I'll explain it in my own words just in case you don't understand it. You can watch that video on your own time. Uh, so the basics of this for loop is that it does whatever statements several times, as in you have this number here that you can change. So it was 5 before, I can put it at 2. That means that whatever is in this blank space over here, as in move forward, or move forward and then turn left. So what this for loop will do is that it'll go through this whole sequence, this 2 block sequence, 2 times before moving on to the next block. So if I have code that says this, that means that when I click run, it will repeat these 2 times, not this one down here. This move forward comes after this for loop is completed. So what it will do is that it'll move forward, turn left, then move forward again, turn left, and then move forward. So do you guys understand that? Oh, you aren't able to hear? Anushka, or whoever is on uh, going by that name in the chat. Can you hear me now? I put my mic closer to my face. Okay. If you can't hear me, then just turn your volume up. So I will be opening up a, what's it called? Go to Opera, then we go here, then we go into Paint. So we have our basic for loop, right? And then our next one is going to be if statements. So what we learned right now is that for loop does a certain sequence of actions. So if we have action action 1 and then action 2, and they both are in a for loop, which we're saying is this circle. This circle represents that for loop that says repeat 3 times. 3 times. So what it will do is that it doesn't do action 1 3 times and then action 2 3 times. What it will do is that it does action 1 and then action 2, and then action 1, action 2, action 1, action 2. So it doesn't do them separately 3 times, it does them as a combined action. So, and everybody understands that, just trying to make that clear, right? So is the concept of for loop understandable? Because then if so, then I will ask for you guys to give some solution to this puzzle using the for loop. Look, sir, I have done it to level 13. Okay, then you can just sit by, and if you have any questions, clarification questions, if you're not sure on the exact workings of a for loop or if statement, then just let me know. But when I ask for answers, then Shluk, you don't have to give them, since I want to make sure that the people who don't know or haven't done this before are understanding. Okay, so we can move on to this. So we can see over here that we want to move our bird to the pig, right? So using an if statement, a for loop, using a for loop, what can we put in this for loop that will get us to that pig? And how many times do we tell the for loop to repeat those set of actions? Rather than repeat 5 times, move forward. Okay, so you're saying repeat 5 times, move forward. So if we look at that, 1, then it'll repeat again. 2, it'll repeat again. 3, 4, 5. So yes, this is a very simple introduction to for loops where you don't need to put multiple statements in there. But yeah, that is correct. And you can see that by tracing our code, as I mentioned last class, we can see that we meet the solution without having to actually run it in the first place. So now for this one, we are pointing to the right, and we want to incorporate for loops. So how exactly would we do that? Again, this is a pretty simple one, but it will cover the concept of having one block out of the for loop and having one block in the for loop. But then, yes, turn right is the proper start to that. Then after that, you want to turn right, repeat 5 times. Okay, repeat 5 times, move forward. Does anybody else think this is right? Just put a yes or a no in the chat if you agree or disagree. Okay, so since you are getting confirmation from your other classmates, we will do that. So turn right, repeat 5 times, move forward. Okay, turn right, repeat 5 times, and then in that, next time specify within the repeat 5 times, move forward. So if you're going to put it out as you did in the chat, maybe you should do turn right, and then you do shift enter, uh, repeat 5 times, and then if you say want to do move forward and turn left, then do it like that. If you just want to do move forward, then you just put it in parentheses like this. And then if you want to have something after the for loop, as in turn left, then that would be something that you would do, just to make it easier for me to understand what exactly you think is the correct solution. Because if I misunderstand and think that you meant that you want me to put it over here, that's not what you wanted me to do. So just for it to be easier for me. So if we run this, so that was the correct solution. And now the next one, I'm not actually sure when if statements will come up in this, if they will at all, but if they don't, then I will cover them using MS Paint. So now for this one, what do you think we should do? If you want me to switch back to the puzzle, just let me know in the chat and I'll switch back to it for a few seconds and then switch back. Okay, so that does seem to be the, yeah, so Vardhan, and I think Anushka is also getting to that point. Uh, yeah, after this one, I would like, what is it, Vardhan or whoever is on that account, you can take a break. You don't need to answer every puzzle. I want to see other people as well participate. So we will be doing what you said. So you repeat 4 times. So you said 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat 4 times. Move forward. Then turn left. And then repeat 5 times. Move forward. Now let us trace the code. So repeat 4 times and move forward. So 1, repeat, 2, repeat, 3, repeat, 4. Then turn left. We turn left, now we're pointing up here. Then repeat 5 times, move forward. 1, repeat, 2, repeat, 3, repeat, 4, repeat, and 5. So we can see that this should be the correct solution. And when we run it, so you can see that we did in fact complete it. Okay, so now in this puzzle, they gave you a for loop that we cannot get rid of. See, if I try to put it in the trash, it does not allow that. So using this, what do you think we should do? What should we put above the for loop, below the for loop, or inside the for loop? Okay, so Karnika, or whoever is on that account, should we put the forward 2 times and right inside the for loop or outside of it? Inside. Okay. So that is correct. Move forward 2 times and then turn. What did you say? Turn right. And they gave you the solution right here. Really wish they wouldn't, but if we run it, you can see that it does work. So what your code did is that you move forward 2 times, you turn right, you move forward 2 times, you turn right. So it completed this set of 3 action 3 times. Not any more, not any less. And it didn't do move forward 2 times, move forward 3 times, then move forward another 3 times, and then turn right 3 times. So I think this is the first time that we put multiple blocks in a for loop. So this is a very good example as to what I was talking about earlier on the paint. Now if we move on to 10, repeat until. So this is another kind of for loop, or another kind of loop. It's not a for loop, but it's a while loop. So usually the while loop does not say repeat until this statement is true. It will say repeat while this statement is true, and then your end goal is to at some point make this repeat until or repeat till whatever this pig is false. But in this example, we're doing repeat until you the condition of reaching the pig is true. So what do you think we should put in the block in the while loop? Move forward, move forward. Yes, so that is the right answer. Again, this is just a very simple example of these new concepts. Yeah, I did not have uh, while loops stated in my presentation, but they are very similar to for loops in that you do this set of actions. If we had move forward, turn left, or something, you would do that set of 2 actions until you reach the pig. And you can see if we look at it closely while it's going, or look at which blocks are being highlighted, each time it moves forward 1 space, it has to check. It checks, so it moves forward, then it checks, oh, am I at the pig yet? Since it's not, then it goes forward again. With the for loops, if you saw, it just repeated 3 times. It didn't have to check anything because it knew that I only do this sequence of 3 steps for 3 times. But for this one, it has to constantly check. So this is good for when you don't know how long it will take to reach your end goal. So it's good for indefinite amounts of repetitions. For loop is good for when you know exactly how many times you have to repeat that action. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Okay. Are you guys ready to move on, or do you want a short break to ask questions or just process what you've learned? So do you guys want a break, or do you guys want to continue on? move on. Okay, since there's only one person answering the question then, okay, now two people. Okay, so now we'll move on to the 11th puzzle. So, one last time for practice. Okay, so this is like our puzzle number 9. So what should I put? There's nothing already existing there, so you have to write out the answer like I had shown before. If I can find that format. Yeah, so in this format. So you would do repeat until instead of repeat 5 times. You would just say repeat until, and then in parentheses whatever you want to put. So take your time. Repeat until, move forward to, turn left. Okay, yeah, that is correct. So if we put it repeat until, move forward times 2, turn left. So unlike puzzle number 9, you're not turning right, you are turning left. So as you can see, we were able to reach the pig using that method. But if you look closely, it would not check if it had reached the pig after every statement in the while loop. It would go through all these 3 statements and then check. So if I had just put move forward and turn left, it would not have checked after move forward if we hit the pig, and then after you turn left if you hit the pig. It's much like the for loop in that way, because the for loop goes through all 3 actions before repeating, and this while loop goes through all 3 actions before not only repeating, but it will check if the statement is true, and if not, then it will move forward, or it'll go through the sequence of actions again. Now if we move on to puzzle number 12, we have a different format now. Now we are the zombie and we want to reach this flower. So what do you think we should do? This is a bit more complicated. You actually have to think about it. Anushka, uh, this is not Scratch. It's not specifically Scratch, but it is similar to Scratch in that it uses block coding. So both Scratch and this are block coding. I will put the link to this again, just in case some of you didn't get it. You showed up late or something. Uh, and after this puzzle, we'll move on, or we'll move forward, turn left. Remember, you want to use that while loop. You don't want to leave. You don't want to just manually put move forward, turn left, move forward, turn right, and then do that manually. Figure out a series of actions that you can repeat indefinitely that will put you along this path. I gave you guys a hint in the statement that I used for hard coding earlier. Uh, so just go through with that. Repeat until, move forward, turn left, move forward, turn right. As usual, you are right. Have you done block coding or any coding class before? Shlok, yeah, I'm sure you have. Okay, Anushka, Vardhan, I did not go to any classes. Well, this is very good then. You're keep up the good work. Shlok Kadam, Python. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think were you in the intro to computer basics class that uh me and my dad Suresh Takale did earlier in the year? Because I'm pretty sure there was also a kid in that class that did Python classes before. Okay, no answer. Leaving me hanging, but thanks. Yeah, no problem. It's you're doing very well for somebody who hasn't had any coding experience. You made me believe that you had done some coding class before. So we'll do what you said. Repeat until move forward, turn left, move forward, and turn right. So just an added thing, these turn statements, they do have a right and a left option in this drop down. I don't really know why they gave you two different blocks. Just a heads up. Uh, so it's going through it a lot faster now, but we can see it goes through all four statements and it checks if it's reached the plan. And we can see that technically at the last point, so at every point here, so like here, 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 at all of these corners, that's when the for loop resets. So he goes move forward, turn left, he checks, then he goes through the loop again, checks, goes through the loop again, checks, loop again, checks, loop again, uh, loop again, and then at the end of the loop, it's because he checks that it doesn't go through. If, say, the plant had been down here, it would have been a bit more difficult because we can only repeat this loop up until this point before we have to hard code just go and move forward two blocks. So just be wary of that, that if you complete the action that you wanted to do before the while loop actually goes through, or before the while loop checks again and you pass that checkpoint or whatever, or you eat the plant, then it won't check it. I think with this, since it's a small game for little kids, I believe it would have stopped anyways, but just make sure in later classes when we're doing Scratch or whatever, I don't think I'll give any exercises that are that difficult, but just beware. So now for this one, what do you think we should do? And Shlok, if I remember correctly, you said that you did up till 13, right? So did you complete the 13th puzzle or Vedang repeat until turn right, move forward, turn left, move forward. So yes, that is correct. Uh, I ask that you all keep your mics muted just so that your internet bandwidth doesn't get affected so that you can properly watch my screen. Because if you do unmute, then it does use up a part of your internet to transmit your voice, and then the video quality will drop. Repeat until turn right, move forward. Sir, I have done the level 13. Okay, so after level 14, then you can participate. Repeat until turn right. So Vedang actually got the correct answer, or whoever is using that account got the right answer. Repeat until turn right, move forward. Oh, this is then turn left, move forward. And if we trace our code, so it'll repeat, so it'll check, have we reached the flower? No, we have not. So then it'll turn right, it'll point down, move forward, turn left, move forward, then it'll check, have we reached the flower? No. It'll do that again, check, we haven't, do it again, check, then do it again, check, do it again. And it'll reach it on, I think what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth loop. Okay, so with this, now we move on to 14. And I will be taking a short break since I've taken the, what is it, the second dose of the vaccine, and I need to rest a bit. So we'll take a short 5-minute break while I rest my eyes. Uh, and we'll come back at 8:35. Okay? Does that sound good to everybody? Okay. So just because it is a break does not mean that you leave the class. You just stay in the class, stay muted, and then come back in 5 minutes. Okay? Okay, so if any of you are still here, that will be the end of. Oh, sir, from the next class, are we going to learn from Scratch or other block programming app? If we do not finish this game today, we will be finishing that up and then moving on to Scratch, where I will just be giving you basic projects at the start, but we will not be using a different block programming app. I don't think for any of our projects you will need to download anything. Maybe for Scratch. But for Scratch it would be fine if you just write down whatever you wrote or just took a picture before closing the tab. You can just use it on you can just do the Scratch on our web on the web editor. I have made a game. Okay, so the next class, what is it? You can share it, uh, if possible. Uh, Yeah, so we will be ending this class earlier than 8, or what is it, 9 o'clock, probably around 8:45. Uh, so with that, now we move on to the next puzzle. So now we have a repeat until you reach the flower, move forward. If path to the left, what do you want to do? So you only need to add one more block. So this incorporates an if statement. So we'll just see how well you guys deal with that, and then we'll repeat until you move forward. If path to the left, you turn left. Sir, oh, sir, the screen. Okay, my bad, my bad. Thank you for catching that. I completely forgot. Uh, yeah. Okay, thank you. So, but Vedang, if path to the left, do turn left. So we'll just put that in there, and that is the correct answer. So if you don't understand, I'll trace the code right now. So repeat until. So first we check, are we at the flower? No. Then, since we aren't, we move forward. Then we check, is there a path to the left? No, there is not. So then we move forward. Or then we go and then we check, are we at the flower now? No. So then we move forward. And is there a path to the left? Now there is. So then we turn right. I mean, turn left. Not right, because then that would lead us to this plant, which we don't want to eat. So you turn it to the left, and then you check, are we at the flower yet? No. So then you move forward. Then there's no path to the left, so then that statement is false. So on and so forth, you then go on. So then if we check our code, yeah, so you can check, so you can see these signal things are it checking if there's a path to its left. So does everybody get the basic concept of an if statement? It checks if if this path to the right statement is true, and if it is, then it does the action. Or then, yeah, so Vardhan, you got the answer correct. So does everybody understand the concept of an if statement? If not, I can pull up Microsoft Paint and we can go through it with my amazing art skills. Though that wouldn't be the best option. So if there are no no's popping up in the chat, then I'm going to assume that everybody understood the if statement. Shlok, did you understand? Vardhan, Vedang, Karnika. Okay. Okay. So now it's a bit more complicated. So now you have a lot of places where you could potentially mess up. Now what do you think we should do? Obviously, you want to incorporate these. You repeat until, and if path to the right. You cannot simply do repeat until, move forward 1, 2, 3 times, and then turn right, and then do that again. Because as you can see here, 1, 2, 3. This line is 4 blocks long, not 3 blocks. Vedang, Vardhan, I'll move forward, if path to the right, turn right. Yes, that is correct. Uh, Maybe it wasn't as complicated as I had said. Repeat until, okay, yeah, so move forward, and if path to the right, turn right. And we can see it'll move forward, check if there's a path to the right, nothing's there, move forward. Then it'll check, are we at the flower? No, it'll move forward, check those two, both are no. Come here, it'll check if there's a path to the right. There is, it turns right. Then it'll check if the flower is there, no. So then so on and so forth. And we can see that after every time it moves forward, it does indeed check if there's a path to the right. These small little puzzles do give you very good visuals uh, of how your character is checking or following every single thing you're doing. And it gives you very good visuals as to how the if statement works, how it checks every single time, or how the repeat until statement works because it pauses after every sequence of those actions. It'll pause after it moves forward and then checks. It'll have a definite pause. So it's very good in that regard. Moving on to 16, we have yet another, landscape change. Uh, so you want to try, give it a try. If not, you can do this on your own time later in the week. And actually, yeah, do this on your own time, and then we'll come back next week with this will be your homework, okay? This puzzle will be your homework. So if you do not have the link to it, I will put it in the chat. And I'll put it in the chat again as we go to close the class. So just take a screenshot if you don't have any way to access this puzzle on your, though I'm sure if you can join this meeting, you definitely can access this puzzle. Though I don't know if you can actually do the block coding stuff on your phone. So just take a look at it. Think of some things at the moment. No need to say them in the chat. And if there are any questions, please let me know concerning if statements, the while loops, and the for loops. So we learned that an if statement, it checks if true, checks if it's true, as labeled by the T, it'll do the action within the if statement. If it's false, it won't. So don't do that. And then your while loop was just a short addition, but it's kind of like a for loop, except it checks indefinitely. So it'll go about it infinite times till your statement in the while loop, the flower statement, or whatever statement you have in there, equals true. So does everybody understand that? Anushka, no, we can't do programming on an Android mobile. Okay, so you can't do the actual programming, but sir, how can I create path? You can't create a path in these games, so you have to follow the path that they have given. So it's less of creating a path and more, or not less of creating a path. There is no creating paths in this game. So what you do is you figure out steps to reach the end of that path that they've given you. So does everybody understand those three things that we went over today? The while loop, for loop, and if statements? If you don't, I can try to explain them again. Though I don't know how well I'll be able to explain them without these little puzzles. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. If not, you are free to leave. I will be staying until the last person hops off the call, just to make sure that there are no more questions. Sir, we can do programming on Android. Okay, Shlok, I've done level 16. Okay, that's good. Uh, so we'll go over that next class. So just keep it with you. Don't, or if you have some paper or whatever to write it down, or if you can take a picture of it on your phone, please do that. And then next class we will share that. Okay, I'll remember to specifically ask you to share yours. And if not, then just tell me. And Aryan, uh, so we can do programming on Android. Okay, so I will share the Scratch link. It's not a version that you have to download. I recommend that you just use this link that I'm giving you at the start, and then as we get further into Scratch, maybe you'll want to download it, but I highly doubt I'll have you download anything for these classes. And if you can do programming on your phone using like these code.org programming tutorials, then feel free to do so. If not, if your phone does not allow you to do that, just have that puzzle open and write down in the format that I gave above your answers. So does that does that answer all your questions and concerns? Mean not on Scratch. I don't understand what exactly you mean by that. So what version of Android? Just open the link that I gave. If it doesn't let you drag the blocks, don't worry. Uh, that's why I showed you guys how to trace code, so that you wouldn't have to press run every single time. You can just look at it and look at what you wrote down on your piece of paper and see if it would be correct. Okay? So I think that's everything. So with that, class is over. Uh, I won't be accepting any more questions, sadly. But you guys are free to leave.
Bye bye, sir.
Bye.